Good morning, writers. Wow, you guys did some excellent revision work last night, working on elaborating important parts in your story. I really enjoy hearing how you take something small and you add meaning and significance to it. So good job, writers. Today I want to talk about how writers, in a way, are time travelers. And I was thinking about one of the parts of our reel out, Home of the Brave, where Keck is having this flashback, this memory of his brother. And I was thinking about how cool it is that writers get to time travel in a sense. They can go back in time and they can go forward into the future. So it's kind of a cool thing to think like writer's superpower is time travel. So I'm just read a little bit about this part that you guys have already heard, but I'm just read a little bit more about him remembering his brother Lual. My brother Lual was Gunwar's age and just as tall. Maybe that's why he tried always to tell me what to do. Have you lost your ears, my stubborn brother, he would say. You must listen to our father and mother. Soon you'll be a man, not a silly boy. I would sigh, I would laugh, and once I even slipped 2 snakes into his sleeping mat, while he lay snoring. The whole village awoke to his screams. I know it was wrong to do, but they were harmless snakes, and when I saw Lual's face, I laughed until my eyes rained. I'm going to go forward a little bit. I would give all of the beds in all the great world to feel the sharp thorn of Lual's scolding once again. So I was thinking about this, flashing back to thinking about his brother and how cool it is that writers have this superpower, and like why would Catherine Applegate add that part to her story? And I think the reason why she did it was to show her how much Keck has lost and how difficult this journey that he's had to essentially have on his own in Minnesota has been for him. So she flashed back to this memory that Keck had of his brother, to show us how important and difficult this journey has been for Keck and how much he misses his family. So today, we are writers. We're going to use our superpowers, and we're going to highlight meaning in our story by adding scenes either from the past, which is a flashback, or in the future, which is what we call a flash forward. So I've been talking a little bit about these words, but I'm just going to give you the definition of them. A flashback, like I said, is something that happens earlier, in an earlier time period than the story that's being told right now. And a flash forward is something that happens in the future. And the future could be well into the future, you could be an adult, or it could be, a week into the future, or a day later, whatever it is, but it's in a different time from where your story is happening. So I have a scene from my story here that I was working on yesterday with you guys, and I was thinking about how I want to add a little bit more meaning in this part where we're sitting in the waiting room of the hospital for her to get examined. And so what I did is I went into this part, and I remembered when I was sitting here thinking about this question that she had asked me while she sort of had her head in my lap waiting for the nurse to call us in. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then we're going to talk about it for a minute. So we sat in the waiting room of the hospital trying to make light of the situation. Julia was still scared. I wondered if this incident would make her not like the ocean anymore. We had been swimming in the ocean waters since she was little. I used to carry her out past the break, but many times we would tumble from a wave hitting us. I remember one time after a day at the beach, when she was about to fall asleep, Julia said to me, "Mama, why do the waves keep coming? Do they ever stop?" "It has something to do with the moon," I said, as Julia's eyes closed gently. "The moon," she breathed with a smile on her face. The nurse startled me from my memory. Julia, she called, looking at us. We were the only people in the waiting room. So I want you to think for a second. Why do you think that I would add this little part here? Remembering that the big part, the big idea that I want to come across is just not the sea urchin, but the relationship between a parent and their child. So think about it for a minute. I'll give you a minute to think. All right, good guys, good thinking. So I wanted to add this little part just so that the reader knew that this incident wasn't going to stop her from the love that we had and swimming together, and that it actually, she started thinking about more things that have to do with the ocean, because I was worried that she wouldn't want to, after this, get back into the waters. So what I'd like us to do, guys, in this next part here, is I know we've read the story 11. I'm going to go to a part of the story. It's the end of the story, and in that part of the story, Sandra Cisneros flashes forward. And I want us to read that part, and I want us to think about, why does she flash forward in that part? Why is that make her writing more powerful? So let's go here to this part here. I'm going to start here where it says paragraph 19. Okay, so you guys can follow along with me. But the worst part is right before the bell rings for lunch. That stupid Phyllis Lopez, who's even dumber than Sylvia Salvador, says she remembers the red sweater as hers. I take it off right away and give it to her. Only Mrs. Price pretends like everything's okay. Today I'm 11. There's a cake Mama's making tonight. And when Papa comes home from work, we'll eat it. There'll be candles and presents, and everybody will sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Rachel. Only it's too late. So I want us to think about this moment here, this flash forward. And it's just a flash forward to the end of her day, of her thinking about her mom making this cake and Dad coming home from work, and everybody celebrating her. And why is this such an important, strong thing that she did here? Why did she flash forward here? But she definitely flash forwarded to show the importance of what happened to her that day. Remember, she kept saying, "It's not mine," but no words would come out of her mouth. And the teacher didn't believe her, and she didn't know how to stand up for herself. And then she ended up having to put on that stinky, itchy red sweater. So it's to show the importance of what happened to her that day, and knowing that it was supposed to be a good day, right? It also shows us how, even as we get older, we still feel like all these years that came before us, like she didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to stand up for herself. So even that little flash forward of her thinking about her birthday cake and her presents, it doesn't bring her comfort in that moment where she had this embarrassing thing happen to her. And I think most importantly that this part of the story really contrasts what happened to her at school and what her family is doing at home to celebrate her big birthday. So I want you to see the importance of, if you flash forward, even if it's like a little flash forward, right? We move forward in time and Mom's making a cake, or we move backwards in time and remembering a time where your daughter says, why are the waves moving, Mom? Right? So that's our superpower, remember. That's our writing superpower, is that we have this ability. And why we do it is because we want to show why something is important. So we want to show why this little scene that you decided that you were flashing back or flashing forward, why is that little part important? You want to do it in a place where you want the reader to know what your story is really about. And when you're working today, you can use sentence starters like I remember, and that sentence starter will help you with a flashback. It signals the reader when they're reading that they know, oh, okay, I know that this doesn't happen right now. This happens at a different time. If you want to do a flash forward, you can use a sentence starter such as one day when I'm older to help you move forward in your story. So remember, writers, today you're going to use your superpower of time travel. And I'm looking forward to seeing which places in your story that you either add in a flash forward or a flashback to help really, really bring out the meaning and the reason why you're writing this story today. So get revising, get into that time travel, and have a good day today on your travel journeys. Bye-bye.